Hello everyone, this is game 3 of the club championship. Uh, I did a little bit of prep, but really not a whole lot. I was expecting a Sicilian again, and I'm expecting not to make a mistake this time in the opening, so we probably won't get anywhere near the same game. I'm expecting e6 here. We probably won't get anywhere near the same game that we did before, and we're just going to play knight c3 and keep it simple. Last game I did knight b5, and I missed that after knight b5 I had to play c4. Okay, I wasn't expecting this. I figured a6, and that was why I was trying to dodge it. So now I can play knight b5. And now after d6 we can play bishop f4 and transpose into a Sveshnikov, which is much more of what I'm used to. d5 I don't think can be played at all. I think I win a pawn after this. I think I can just take 3 times on this square, and then I have knight c7 check in the end. Okay, so I know captures is the right move. Yeah, I'm reasonably certain about this. I mean, this is just a free pawn. So a really good start sitting as white. Oh, and he's going to do it like this, which, yeah, this is also fine. And he'll probably take with the pawn, and he's probably missing that I can take with queen here. I don't see anything better, so I think that's what we're going to do. Yeah, this makes sense. Yeah, he probably totally missed this. He said he was going to do prep, but I don't think he did prep if he played d5. I don't think d5 ever works there. You definitely have to play d6, and it'll transpose into a Sveshnikov. I guess while he's thinking, I can go through this. So usually d6, bishop f4, and then e5, and then the bishop comes to g5. And then white plays against the weak d5 square. But yeah, after this, I really like being up a pawn, and I guess I can play knight c7 check and scoop that up. I think this is just I mean, this helps me out even more. Well, I have plenty of time. Let's sit and think about this maybe. No, this is the play. Take. Oh, he takes with king. Okay, so that's fine. So he's gonna lose castling no matter what. Yeah, that's more than fine for me. So now we really just need a good response to this. I have to pay attention to knight b4 here. Yeah, certainly I can just play like bishop e3. Bishop f4 maybe. No, I like bishop e3. Bishop e3 will prepare the queenside castle. And it's going to be important. After queenside castle, this pawn actually is hanging, because I don't have that b3 trick. There could be a bishop a3 check. Obviously not right now, because the knight's right here, but he can kick that away pretty easily. So for example, like if he plays... Oh, fuck if I know. Bishop e7, just as a burn move. And I castle with check, and he moves out. I have to guard this pawn. I guess if he does play a6, I'm probably coming back here anyway, and it's going to guard the pawn. So, but it's something to be aware of. After I do castle queenside, this pawn is going to be a little bit loose, because of course usually when there's a capture here, we can play b3 and we can trap the bishop, but it won't work if this bishop check is here. Again, if this knight gets kicked away. So something to pay attention to. As long as my d2 square is clear though, then I think we'll be okay. This is an interesting move. So he wants me to play c3 so that my knight doesn't have that square, but I think I'm happy playing c3 anyway, because now my knight gets d4, and I like that quite a lot better. I'm very happy going into an endgame with him, especially up a pawn, in a position where I feel like I have better development. So I can certainly castle here. Yeah, we can get a lot of damage here, I think. Let's castle with check. I don't see anything else. We can do a lot of damage. I always have b4, and I'm going to win the bishop in some respect. I'm not really sure how he wants to do that, but... Okay, so we're doing that. But I have bishop c5, though. Is that really... I mean, where's he going to put his king? He doesn't have anywhere to put it. This looks incredibly annoying, this bishop c5 move. Okay, so we'll play that with check. And he's going to go to f6. Okay, I mean, he can. But, yeah, that looks really, really annoying to have to do. Okay, and what to do about the a pawn? I really want to develop my light-squared bishop and get these pieces rolling. But I'm not sure what to do about this a pawn quite yet. I wish there was some good way to improve my position and make it so that he could not take the a pawn, but I don't think there's a good way to do that. I might be stuck just defending it. Maybe king b1 on bishop check. I can play bishop d3. That might be what I have to do. Yeah, king f6 is fine. His king's safe there. It's reasonable, at least. I could play b4. b4 looks really nice. Where's he put his bishop, you know? Does he really want to put it on b6 and then have these double isolated pawns? He can't go here. I'd really like it if he's forced to go to d8. That would be really nice. Let's play this. This seems very unconventional, but I think I like it. I think this works out fine. And then this way, my king can at least go to b2 to guard the pawn. It seems much more active than going to b1, getting checked, and then having to trade off light-squared bishops or having to go to a1. I don't really like either of those things. I want to keep some pieces on the board and have some life in the position. So we'll go with b4. Maybe I should have done that before. I don't know. His king's certainly not bad on f6. It is closer to the center than mine. Mine king's going to be stuck guarding this maybe, but maybe I play a4. Oh, okay, I'm definitely not playing a4 now. Let's see. So I think taking and playing a3 is my only option. And it's a fine option. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that at all, I don't think. Capture, play a3. That seems fine. And I want to play knight c7, and I need to get rid of this bishop. But let's take and play a3. I like my knight. My knight can't get kicked around anywhere, so I'm very happy about this. Still up a pawn. Hopefully we can maintain it. I feel like I'm playing a lot better than I did yesterday. That was an absolute train wreck. And of course we're going king b2, and we'll try to hold this. So the knight there, it's getting boxed out by all of this. I'm not really sure where he wants to go with that knight. I mean, I guess he can put it on c4. So if I play here, knight c4, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that's something. That definitely makes some sense. What can we do about that? Yeah, I don't really even have a better way to guard the pawn there. It's pretty annoying. It's tough. Well, that's a good knight move. Rook d4? Not sure what that does. I mean, it guards c4. But I feel like he just goes rook here. Kicks me off of that square. And I don't know if I'm doing anything about that. Well, now wait a second. Rook here, knight here. That's tricky. It hits this rook. This rook can't take here because I take his rook here. And if he takes my rook, I can take with pawn here, and I'm hitting his knight, and I'm hitting his rook. He can come over and he can pin. I take with check. Fuck, but that knight's still pinned. And I'm dropping a pawn in that line. That is really close to working. I almost just want to play it because I feel like at some point there's some way to make that work. Man. I need to get this bishop out. Man, that's very annoying. I'm almost playing this out of despair. That might not even be good. If rook here, I can play king b2, actually. But then rook takes, knight check. And he's winning that pawn. I don't know if that works. Still. That's tough. Very, very tough. Wow. Yeah, that line almost works. I wonder if I'm still better after it, though. So rook here. Knight c7. Rook takes. Pawn takes. Rook c8. Takes with check. He's going to take back. My stupid knight's pinned. I can't do anything about that. Yeah, when that knight's pinned, I can't do anything about that. But I don't see any other way to not go down a pawn here, unfortunately. So, at this point, I'm really just banking on hoping that hoping that he doesn't play perfectly here on out, I guess. It seems like a decent try, but I don't know. I don't think this move is very hard to spot at all. I guess after knight c7, there's some chance that he can mess things up, but now wait though. If he goes rook here, I go knight c7, and he takes here. I guess I could take here, and then I'm hitting this. We just trade rooks, and I save my pawn. And I think I saved my pawn for good. I'm also hitting this pawn. I think that might be the way to go. I knew there was something about that rook d4 move. I think that works fine. I don't know what g5 does. That's ridiculous. I did all that calculating for no reason, just for him to play g5. What in the world? Yeah, that move, as far as I'm concerned, doesn't do anything. Okay, so king b2. We need to guard that. And then now we'll go here. Knight c7 next. And I feel a lot better about my position. Yeah, I mean, what could he possibly be doing with g5? I think here, though, the game plan is trade off as many pieces as possible and use the 3v2 majority on this queen side. I think I can really get something done over here. queenside majorities are in the endgame are, I mean, just by their nature, are really, really advantageous. Yeah, that's going to be too late. And in a 3v2, especially when the two are isolated doubled pawns, I think this is going to be really promising. So I probably still knight c7, I think, right? Because then I'm not getting pinned. Knight c7, rook takes. I take with pawn. And I'm not getting pinned. He has a check, but I can just chop it, and then I'm taking his rook. I think knight c7 is just a free play here. I get to get rid of this bishop. I get to get rid of some of the control that he has over c4. And there's nothing special about c4 other than it's a sort of a springboard to get to this a3 pawn. So I think this is really nice. Okay, I mean, he still has that, but after I get rid of the bishop... There's no, like, tactics here, I don't think. No. So let's... Yeah, this is nice. Just chop the bishop and... You know, here we are. This is great. So my bishop now needs to go somewhere, for sure. There's some really nasty things that I can do, I guess. If I can somehow get it on this diagonal, perhaps. Probably not. Nothing immediately obvious, I don't think. I'm concerned about d2 for sure, because my development is a little bit slow. So I think probably the play is to trade rooks. That was already pre-moved. That's very strange. And if I come over here, you can always hit this, which is a bit annoying. But I think this is fine. Yeah, I think this is fine. So let's play here. And yeah, he can swing his rook over here, hit this. I want to play king b3. If he brings his rook back, then I'm going to play bishop c4 check. Okay, this gives me a check. So we get to finally develop a piece with some tempo. That's what I've been waiting for 24 damn moves. So we're up the pawn. Big advantage on the queen side. And we're finally catching up in development. And where does he go with the king? So this is, I was looking at this. I can play h3, and he can't take that. That's kind of nice, but it just looks, that's just cute. It doesn't really do anything. I'd like to get the rook active. It's really hard to, though. He kind of has the file that I want, which is unfortunate. I can't go here because of knight check. That's just, I don't want to allow that. I have no need to allow that. If I go here, then we have knight here. To e5, I can probably just drop back to e2, and I actually really like my position. After bishop e2, then I can bring the rook over here and start fighting for that file. So, yeah, this makes some sense. Yep. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Let's go for that. And once again, I mean, last time I was white, I had an endgame against them. Bishop against knight. Pawns are on both sides of the board, so the advantage goes to the bishop. So I'm really happy with this. So expecting knight e5. bishop e2 to drop back, and then I'm playing rook d1 next, so I'll trade off everything. I'm very happy to do this with such an incredible pawn structure advantage. Okay, it's just an aggressive position for the king. I don't think it's anything that I need to really worry about. We can bring the rook here. My bishop, I don't have to worry about this knight at all. My bishop just perfectly geometrically boxes it out. Oh. He's going to give me the file? That seems really strange. I didn't think he'd give me the file like that. So, can I go rook d6, maybe? Rook d6, pick on the pawn. I'm certain I can. I can go rook d4 and prep this. That looks maybe even positionally more solid. Push his king back a little bit. Rook d4 looks really nice. I can get this pawn whenever I want. If rook d4, what about knight c6? Then I have rook d5 check. King anywhere, and then he's off my bishop. So let's do that. Let's go rook d4. Positionally, this looks really, really nice. If he moves the knight, I also have bishop check here, so... or a bishop here, I guess. I mean, it doesn't matter. I have any bishop check. But, I mean, if I go rook d6, he can just move the knight anyway, guard the pawn. So I'm not really ever winning this pawn. Oh, okay. Rook d6, knight here. I guess I have bishop b5, so I am getting some kind of a trade, but I don't know if that trade's going to be good enough. He'll be able to undouble his pawns after rook c8, so I really like this. I like putting my rook on this active rank and stopping his king from moving forward. And I'm looking at g4, but I don't know, maybe I don't, give myself such a pawn structure weakness on f4. And I mean, maybe it just doesn't even matter. Who knows? It might not matter at all. Okay, yeah. So we had looked at this. We're okay. Bishop check I really like, because I get to check him, and I don't have to give myself that pawn structure weakness. So let's go with bishop check. It covers this square. It defends my bishop. I no longer have to worry about the rook hitting it again. And now I can go rook d7 next. I think the best move for him is probably king f6. And then after rook d7, he can at least guard the pawn by going rook e7. He doesn't want to go rook b8. That's ridiculous. I guess he can go there too, but what the fuck does that do? No, that just loses a pawn, right? I have bishop here, but then he has check. I can drop it back. We have an exchange. He moves his knight, so I'm not winning a pawn if I do that. But it seems that I'm really close to winning a pawn if I play rook here. Rook here just looks incredibly solid. He has a knight move here. That's, for sure he has that. But I'm obliterating his queenside. So if he really wants to do that, he certainly can. Okay. I'm not really worried about that. We'll just drop back. He still has the knight move, but this time I have a check. I have a couple of checks. I have this check first. And if he goes f5, then I have rook d6 check. And then I can even take the f pawn. And I'm on the b pawn. I mean, I'm winning every single pawn. So, I mean, all these moves looked nice. They looked like they were annoying, but I'm pretty happy just to win all these pawns. I can, and these are kingside pawns. I really like winning these kingside pawns. I can come and win these 2 weak queenside pawns really whenever I want. Especially if we can manage to trade off some more pieces. I need to watch it though. I could give him this c4 square, but I think I'm fine doing so. So let's take with the bishop here. Any rook f8, any kind of thing trying to exploit these 2 weaknesses, I always have g4. And knight c4 is a bit annoying, but I have rook check and I'm just munching away, so I don't really care about losing my a pawn. That's just not really a priority. We're at 209, up 2 pawns. We're about to go up a lot of pawns. Okay, it looks like g4 is still the play, I believe. Let's go for that. Seems perfectly reasonable. I don't really want to be moving that bishop and letting his rook in. Very solid move. I don't like that I don't have a time edge, but 2 pawns is pretty nice too. Okay. Yeah, the rook c4 was what I was a little bit afraid of. We have a rook check there. I can win so many pawns. Let's play the rook check here, and then maybe king here is a really neat idea. Just keep on guarding literally everything. Really like that. If he goes here, I mate him. He might do that. I've seen worse moves out of him. Yeah, I like this. I think just king b3. His king's not doing anything there. If I go king b3, where does the knight go? It doesn't go anywhere that's going to guard the pawn. So let's go here. And we have everything guarded. We're not giving him anything. We're about to go up 3 pawns. And every single thing is guarded. Where can his knight go? e5, I guess? Can I win it if it goes to e5? No, not really. Close. If it goes to e5, I think I take on b7, and then I'm going to take here next, because he doesn't have anywhere else that he can go. He doesn't have anywhere to guard that pawn, I don't think. Looks good. Okay, he can certainly do that. So we'll capture here. And then, how's he guard the pawn? Knight d6. I'm going to pin it. Sure. Should I pin it? Is there a better move? Let's just pin it. He'll go there. Fine. I don't really want to be moving the bishop, I don't think. So let's get advancing over here. We're a little low on time. Maybe that's not the greatest move, but we got to do something. I don't want to move this bishop. He can definitely do that. No, this is great for me. This is just splendid for me. I mean, this guy's just going to run. If we trade, this guy is just going to run. I didn't think he was going to take that bishop. I thought for sure. I'm up plenty of material. He does not have time. He doesn't have time to come and take this and... No, no, no. Okay. Take here. I'm happy to trade. He wisely doesn't trade. I don't need to give him anything, I don't think, but if I go there... Okay, that's going to be a little sketch if I do that. Let's come back. I think this is a little bit of a trap for him. If he goes here, I can push. If he takes, then I can go rook check and I can trade rooks, and then I'm winning a king pawn endgame. His other option is to give up the rook. So yeah, so this is just a trap here, just to simplify. And if he doesn't go for it, then I have two connected passers. So I think this was the simplest way to deal with this endgame, and I'm pretty happy with it. And he, I think, also saw what I was going to do. Let's push this pawn. And I don't know which pawn he's going for. That's fine. We will just continue pushing. Nearly everything that I have is guarded. My time could be better, but I think I have plenty of time to convert this. Okay, certainly. Can do that. Let's bring the king forward. Sure. We can continue bringing the king forward. I mean, he can't, my rook is in such an incredible position. Like, that was why I played the rook check versus taking with the pawn and then the rook check. It's just such a good position. If I take here with the pawn first, and he doesn't take back with the rook, you know, I don't get a trade, and it's not the same. So yeah, what a position here. This is just fantastic. Offers a draw. Oh, he misclicked. Yeah. That's very unlike him if he. Okay. Yeah, I mean, what to say about that game? It felt really good, but there definitely could have been maybe improvements to be made. E takes, knight takes, knight takes, e takes. Okay, bishop f4. That was the move that I missed. I couldn't remember that move. I had looked at this position a long time ago because Flippy played this exact game against me, and I played queen takes d5 in the blitz game, and bishop f4 was what it recommended afterwards. I couldn't remember it. I knew there was something, but yeah, bishop f4 is obviously really nice, and it's just overall way better than queen takes d5. I'm winning so much more than just a pawn. Okay, so that's definitely an improvement that could have been made there. Yeah, queen takes d8 is good. Okay, bishop e3 is fine. This all looks good. I mean, this is you can't get a much better scoreline than. I mean, that's very nearly a perfect game. So it felt good. It felt really good versus the other game. Knight d6 I had looked at. I mean, we're going for the b pawn, I guess. Knight d6, and then does he not? He doesn't have a really good way to guard the b pawn, I guess. He can go rook b8, castles. Oh, castles. If I can click it, maybe. And then here, bishop c5. It's saying bishop c4. I would go bishop c5 here, right? Bishop b6 is clever. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really figure out what the difference is in the positions. I definitely looked at knight d6, but I mean, since this is the only target, I just naturally shied away from it. I really like being able to castle with check because I'm, I guess, a patzer. And then king e7, bishop c5. I mean, this continuation was just, I think, naturally very attractive. B4, I guess. I mean, yeah, it's no surprise to me that B4 is not a good move. Knight d6. I mean, I looked at this. But, I mean, knight d6, what do you do after I take? Knight takes b7, I guess I have a pawn there, too. This is a much better pawn than my a pawn, so probably something I should have seen. But, I mean, was there really... This is just dominant, so there... Any sort of, whenever you play a game like this, any sort of improvement that you can make, it's just so minuscule that it's probably best to not get too bent out of shape about it. This is kind of interesting. So it didn't like rook d4. Rook d6 was my first inclination. So I had looked at this line. Wait. Was it on this move? Here, Knight here. No, I hadn't looked. No, not here. So what did I play? I played rook d4 here because I was afraid of this. And it wanted rook d6. Okay, rook d6 is an interesting try. I see. So I'm mixing up my lines. Here. So I had looked at this position was another spot where I played rook d4. And here rook d4 isn't as bad as in the other position. Okay. Rook d5 it really likes. I'd looked at rook d5, rook d6 of course. And I was looking at rook d6 and I figured just knight c6 and he defends bishop b5 and rook c8, and I mean if I take he gets to undouble his pawns. So I wasn't really sure what I was accomplishing with this, but I guess I do have rook here. And that looks really nice. That starts to scare me. So, I mean rook here I guess also doesn't really do anything because I also have to play king b2 at some point to break the pin. So a lot of different little things that we can do to improve our our game here, but I think overall I'm pretty happy with this. So let's see. So he played e4 as white in the last game, and he kind of botched playing against the Khan. So in the next game we might switch it up. We might play something other than the Khan. I'm not sure. I'll have to look at. We played quite a lot of Khan games, so I'll have to look at kind of how he typically responds to it and figure out how to prep for that. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.